Hello and greetings to you, viewer from across the tubes. I am Gnarly Quack, although my friends and enemies call me Carl, and I am back again today working on Dr. Strangetest, my testing framework for PHP. And I made the mistake of leaving the Twitch window open while I was getting the last few things pulled together, and so my little NUC is quite hot already. It does not like streaming and playing video at the same time. But I think we'll be okay. I've got the fans blown on it now, and it seems to be calming down a little bit. So we should be able to get some coding done. And what we were going to be working on is just picking up from yesterday, where I have been simplifying the logger, and that's going to lead into that's going to lead into work where I'm going to be sort of making more uniform how things are being logged. Right now, there's a difference between how we are logging exceptions that are thrown by the framework itself and how exceptions are logged, or how we log exceptions based on whether they're thrown outside of the framework. And we also have some inconsistency in terms of not being as diligent about showing sort of files and line numbers and stuff about where errors are happening. And part of that is because we're not actually throwing an exception, we're just manually logging an error. But anyway, we'll get into it. So let's get into the code here. And I believe we left things off with a clean state. Let's just run the tests. Make sure everything looks good. And I guess one thing I want to do is I want to see what's left in this buffer file, because I think all that is left in here are these 3, maybe 4 functions. Yeah. And since we basically integrated this functionality into the basic logger, I think I'm going to basically move those into the logger. And of course, I'm going to start things off here with a cough, so hold on a second. I forgot I can only unmute myself with the left control. Hopefully I'm unmuted. It looks like I am. So now maybe we can get started. So what I want to do is, I don't know, I kind of want to be a little bit more diligent about having like cleaner JIT commits. And so what I want to do is I want to check out a new branch just called fix, and I'm going to check that off of this. So that will be, I guess NeoVim already picked that up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to yank all that. And I will guess, I don't know, do I even have functions in here? What do we have in here? And we'll just stick this down here at the bottom. And then main, we will get rid of that buffer file. And then we'll just come back here and... So let's see what that did. We should still be okay. Maybe quit out of there. Yeah, that's fine, because I got rid of that file. I appreciate the forceful backup there, NeoVim, but we don't need that file. So I think we just said everything is okay. So yeah. So we just moved that in there, got rid of that. Okay, so JIT. Hello, system. How are you? Welcome. So we'll check out the buffer branch, and then we'll just rebase that off of fix, I guess. I don't know what I called it. Uh-oh. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Guess we're gonna have to delete that again. So I think we're good to go then. Is that what that's telling us? Okay. Well, I appreciate you lurking then. Hmm. So I feel like this should not have broken as many things as are broken, but I guess we'll take a look at this. I guess because we deleted that file and we did not pick up the changes to the basic logger here. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on Arch Linux, so I'm deep into the Linux nerdiness, I guess, being on Arch. So let me just see. I think we should be okay here. Okay, so we'll get rid of that fix branch. I have not worked with a Raspberry Pi, to be honest with you. We're gonna have to force push this, I believe. Origin buffering. All right, let me go private here while I just make sure I'm logged in my GitHub account. Looks like I am. Do you do programming on the Raspberry Pi there systems, or do you just have that for fun, or? Oh, okay. Well, that's the fun of Linux. You can try every distribution under the sun until you find one that you like. Okay, so now I think the next thing I want to do is get rid of this log interface. And let me see how this log is actually being used. Oh wow, I didn't learn assembly. I learned some C. I guess I wouldn't have been C99 yet when I was in college, but C and C++, but no assembly. What am I looking for? I'm looking for the log. So what am I doing here? Well, that's the logger. Oh, these are all... Oh no, okay. I see what happens. When we do get log, we just make this log. So that makes sense. So what do we do in the constructor here? Do we do anything? We take the count and we take the events. So I kind of just want to turn this into like a basic struct, I think. Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like it's nothing I've really done, but I've gotten more into C lately, and I feel like embedded programming could be a lot of fun, I suppose. I guess it depends on if you like working very close to the machine. But I can't say I know much about it. I think I've gotten as far in learning assembly because I was a little bit interested in learning it. And I did like the first tutorial and whatever tutorial site I had, and so I think I printed out like Hello World in assembly. I was like, this is fun, but I don't want to spend the time right now learning all of this, so I kind of got lazy. So I kind of feel like I just want to get rid of this interface. So let's do that. Somehow I nuke that I as well. And this is just going to turn into a log. And I kind of just want to pass this stuff in and get rid of all these methods. Right, I mean, all of this stuff is just... So this is probably going to break just an incredible number of things here. And so let's just see the carnage. Oh, well, did not get very far. So why... Oh, wait, why did this not save? Oh, wait, what did I do here? Is that all I did? I deleted an I? Okay, well. Oh, I'm on... Okay. I hit the wrong visual mode, that's why. That is what I wanted to do. Alright. And that still did not... Oh, you know why? This can no longer implement a class that doesn't exist. Alright, then not as bad as I thought. No, it's not. It's just it's a binary distribution. This is it here. But it's kind of its whole thing is it tries as little as possible to, like, it's a rolling release, so it basically always there's not, like, if you're familiar with like Mint or Ubuntu where they have sort of 6-month like point releases. Arch doesn't really have a release. It just, when upstream software gets updated, it just updates the software in its repositories. So it's a rolling release, and then as a result, it also tries to not patch upstream software. So as much as possible, you're just getting vanilla upstream software. Because one of the things, like with Ubuntu and Mint, since they have like fixed releases, and then they try and maintain like backwards or support their older ones, many times they will get like security patches for newer versions of software, and then backport that to the releases because the releases fix on some version of the software. If that makes sense what I'm saying. Oh, really? I didn't really have any problems. I can't remember. I think I installed it off a USB stick, but I mean, I pretty much just walked through this, and I mean, you have different options. I think I'm using. I'm not even using a bootloader. I'm using. Uh, what am I using? I think I'm using something where the kernel now can just boot itself. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, but I didn't really have any issues as far as I remember. I just grabbed a USB stick and walked through the installation guide. I suppose if I had had issues, I would have gone elsewhere because I have used Debian for a while, but I was using like Debian testing, which was kind of a rolling release, although they would freeze testing when they were getting ready to, um, like they would feature freeze testing when they were getting ready to release a new stable version. And so I'm like, well, if I'm already basically on a rolling release version anyway, I might as well just go to Arch Linux. Oh, okay. Well, then maybe, yeah, maybe that had something to do with it. Okay. So I guess let's just start figuring out what's going on here. So what did I think it's just called now megabytes used? Maybe I should call this memory used. And I'll just make a note that it's in megabytes. I guess what I can maybe just do. So let's do that. Okay, so this is going to go to and then 100. And so this is going to be, I guess the one nice thing about this was, oh, okay, well, I don't think you've really said anything ban-worthy yet, but no promises, I guess. But yeah, thanks for stopping in, too. So what did I... Let me just see what I... I don't know, maybe I was a little too hasty in deleting those functions, but well, yes, I do aim to be family friendly here. Not that families are watching me, but so I guess maybe I should just put this back in. So how do I do that? Can I just undo? That's where I deleted everything. Okay. So this is now going to return an int. That's going to return an int. Uh, why is this doing this? Stop it. Oh, I guess because I'm hitting the delete button here. And that's going to return a float, I guess. And then this is returning a int string, or throwable, or null. And I think those are public because I guess I should make those private again. Oh, nice. Yeah, I can imagine working in an emergency room is can be pretty harrowing. Especially nowadays, coming out of the pandemic and everything. Oh, enjoy your day off. Basic block. I guess I changed this, huh? Megabytes. Oh, you know what I need to do? I think I need to change the type. Yeah, the type in here. Nice. That sounds like a very nice evening. Do you know what you're gonna cook? I feel like that should have broken a lot more things, but I guess it didn't because I basically kept the interface. So good, I guess. Hmm. So I guess I'll commit that then. Eh, that's always a good plan, I guess. What'd she go for? Well, as long as it's good. If it's bad, it does it right. Whether it's good or if it's good, it doesn't matter if it's chicken or steak. And if it's bad, it also doesn't matter if it's chicken or steak, right? So just make sure you make it good, whatever it is. That's probably the trap, right? Just make something good. Okay. Oh, there you go. Yeah. If it's a day off, make both, right? Okay, so I think that's about all I want to do with the logger for now. I may want to pull these functions in, and actually, let me make a note here, because this kind of caught me yesterday, with this n buffering. Case, let's see, this process. So that goes down through here. Uh, well, results in more. I guess it's not just events, it's more events being logged. While clearing out the buffers, we still want to keep the logger buffered in case this process results in more events being logged. Um, this way, the new events are properly added to the end of the existing buffered event queue. So that goes down through here. And now you want to... Because this here, this not unbuffering the logger was, when I made this change yesterday, kind of broke everything. And now we want to, after we go through this, I don't know, I don't really like how this is kind of, this whole process is sort of broken up. But that could just be me being... So that's that. I just want to make that note. Eh. I don't even know what the Monday night game was. Right, yesterday was Monday. I'm actually going to step away for a minute and refill my coffee. I just heard my coffee maker beep. So, yeah, I'll be back in probably just 2 minutes. Yeah, back in a couple. Seahawks versus Broncos. Are you a fan of one of those teams, or it was just some football to watch? Um, what do I want to do here? Okay, so I think I will rebase this. I guess I'll rebase this off of trunk. I know I have this login branch in here. So I wonder how this is going to work. I want to basically, I think, fix up. I guess I'll reword this. Place logger. Okay, let's see how this goes. Suppose I should quit out of that. Just really, that worked. I haven't really used Mint, but it seems like it might be like the most user-friendly distro right now. I know it's. I think it might even be more popular than Ubuntu these days. But I guess I do use Cinnamon as my desktop environment, which I think Mint started because they were unhappy with GTK3 or something. But it seems very like Ubuntu-esque, so I don't know. Try it, I guess. I don't have strong opinions on. I like the distro that I use, but I don't have strong opinions about other ones. Okay, so we'll delete buffering. And I guess we'll delete logging. Okay, so I guess now what I want to do is I want to start taking a look at eh, so here in the framework specific exceptions, I mentioned this yesterday. I have some logic in here that sort of controls how these get formatted when they're cast to a string. And what I really want to do is I want to pull this formatting out into, well, I want to pull this out of these specific exceptions so I can maybe do this for any generic exception. So we can sort of standardize how we're handling these different exceptions. But one of the things I want to test is I thought there was a reason I had that logic in the exceptions because I was getting different results. So I just want to see if I can take a look at that and basically see what sort of difference, if there is any. Maybe I'm just misremembering. There is in terms of generating like formatting basically the stack trace from an exception constructor versus trying to format that out of an already thrown exception. That seems very cheap for a drone. I didn't realize you could get a drone, or one can get a drone for only $50 these days. So I guess what I'll do here is Well, I feel like you should each just get your own little like here's your spending money for the month. Just set a budget for that, and then either of you can just buy whatever you want as long as you stay within your budget. And if it's in your own budget, then you don't have, there's no arguments about it. Of course, I'm not married, so that's easy for me to say, I suppose. But so we're just going to call this function throw up because that is what happens when one throws an exception. And so what do I want to do here? I guess we're going to throw a new... I guess we'll just throw a new throw up. Yuck. And then here in exceptions... Oops, what did that do? We'll just make this new... And then, so basically what I want to do is in the construct, well, there's no harm in splurging a little while if or every once in a while if you're being if you're being thrifty, I guess. So I need guess I just need that. Right, so what I want to do then is basically, so when we get the client call site, what do we do? Oh, find client call site. So what do we... Pass false for... So this just... Well, I guess I'll just print this. So... I guess these options are exactly the same. So let's just print... print backtrace. Egg. Okay, and then we need to call off to the parent constructor, which is, I guess, just this. Message, code, and previous. All right, so now I guess in one of my tests, we'll do and then what are our functions here? Get trace. So let's just echo get trace. Oops. Well, let's just see what happens there. Syntax error, of course. 317. So what's the problem here? Oh. Oh, of course now I gotta type hint this stuff. So what is this? String message. I guess I don't need to type hint that, but I do need to make that. Yeah, have a good one, Systems. Thanks for stopping in. Good luck with dinner tonight. Oh. This is, I gotta namespace this. All right, let's see what we got here. I suppose I should have indicated whether this was happening in the constructor or not. So why isn't that, oh, you know why? Well, I actually don't understand why that is. Oh, okay. So that is coming from the constructor, but this also needs to be namespaced. And I suppose I shouldn't just let that test failing. So it appears there's no difference here. So I wonder why I thought it was important that so we've got main, run test, run directory, run file, run function, run test. test throwing, then hello, Core. English only, please. I don't understand. Welcome back, though. How are you today? Sorry, nothing personal. I have in my thing I'm going to delete non-English comments just because I don't understand them. But hi, welcome. So I think I should be okay here then. So I guess I'll actually store that. So I guess I learned what I wanted to out of that. So I guess the next thing is, I guess I need to figure out how I want to structure the logger then to log this stuff. So we're logging pass, failures, errors, skips, and output. And I kind of feel like, so since a large number of our logging events are going to come from exceptions, I suppose this can be mirrored off of mirrored sort of off of how exceptions are structured. And one thing I guess I want to sort out is I have a couple instances where I'm sort of getting an exception chain going. So the two instances I'm aware of is here, and I don't remember what triggers this. I think this might happen during buffering. I guess I can maybe just look in my tests. So I guess I'm not testing that case. So what happens if I just comment this out? Nothing. Okay, so I guess whatever is happening here, I'm not testing that. I wonder if I can. What is this? In log? Oh, great. Okay, so how do I follow get through a file rename? Show skips that occurred, an error can happen during a skip test. Oh, if the skip is thrown from a test function, and then an error happens during teardown. So that must be so I type into that as a previous skip. Oh, I guess I see what I did. So I guess instead of just showing whatever the original skip test message is, I kept that original message, but I also added on that an error happened during the skip. So it maybe is worth keeping this note, actually. So that might be worth noting. And then I think the other place I have nested exceptions is under assert throws. So yeah. So the short of all this being is I need to figure out how to handle nested exceptions. In dealing with this, but okay, I think I'm gonna actually hit the restroom for a minute, and I'll be back. I'll be back in a few minutes. So back shortly. Right, and I'm back. So I think what I may want to do here is, actually edit, this is going to be, so we have, log pass, log failure, log error, log skip, log output. And then we've got in our exception, so do we just have like, there, this is what I want. I just want the signature for exception. So in an exception, we've got a message, code I don't care about, file, line, basically the backtrace, and then previous exception. Right, that's what we have. Message in messages, yeah. So we kind of want to map this to these, but we don't also always have the same stuff. Like the one, I don't know, maybe the only example we have is when we're discovering files in a directory and it's a case-sensitive file system and there's possibly multiple setup files in there. Right, that is going to be an error. That's not going to have basically a file or a line. That might be the only case that's true. Well, not really, because we can also, right, we can also log errors from when we're parsing command line arguments. So in that case, I guess we would have a source and a reason. But we wouldn't necessarily have a file or a line or a trace for that matter. And all of this seems fairly clear cut, except in the case where we have like a nested exception. So I kind of feel like, and log pass is not something we normally have. This is kind of more for debugging, and there won't really be a reason. And I guess I'm distinguishing like the source from, say, like the file. Well, because it may not be a file, but like typically this would be like the test that fails, or if it's an error in a function, like the function name. But I guess kind of in order to standardize all this, in the case of like a pass, we would want like source, file, line, and then I don't know what to call it, like I don't really want to call it a trace maybe, but like additional. And these, I guess, could all be nullable. And then here, reason would map to like the message, but I guess this would be the same. Same thing here. I guess these would be, oops. Right, because skips are implemented as well, maybe they wouldn't be null here. So in this case, maybe I may just need to have to work through this. These might need to be required, maybe not additional, but in this case, because the errors can come from any number of places, those could all be optional. And then I guess we're saying the same thing here. Like this would match a failure basically. And then output, we're not really going to have any more detail with output than sort of the function that it, or the file that it occurs in. So this could be file, this could be line. That could be nullable, I guess, because, right, a file itself could just have output. And I suppose, like, additional. So I guess that's kind of what I'm thinking. And in this case, right, the source would be, well, file would be null, right? If the source was the file itself, we would just pass that in as the source. But if it was like a function that had output, then the function would be the source, and then the file would be the file. So I kind of feel like that's what we're saying. And then I suppose some sort of standard message would be like source reason in a file line, something like that, and then additional. This would be our output format. And I suppose yeah, and then I got to figure out, I guess, what to do with the sort of nested exceptions. So how do we work towards that? Well, that was kind of the reason for, so in this case we're saying, right, source equals the test name, like function name, and then, well, yeah. Okay. And I kind of feel like there won't really be an additional, right? I mean, I suppose it wouldn't hurt to have it. So we may want to start structuring these events, as opposed to just having this array of gobbledygook here. So I guess what we're kind of saying then is I don't know, I kind of want to move this log down. Well, I don't know. So final class. I guess I could just call this event. So we're going to have, we just set a type, source, file, line, public additional, I guess is what we're saying. And this is going to be, I think I have this. This here. And I suppose I could move those into the event. Well, whatever. So this is going to be event pass, or event fail, or event error, or event skip, or event output. Suppose I could default that to null. So what are we doing here now in the logger? The same thing, basically. So let me just see if that gets through static analysis. I haven't changed anything, so everything should be fine. Okay. So I guess the first change here. What time is it? Oops, is we're saying file now events is going to be a new, what do I call this? Just event. And then event source is going to equal source. Event type is going to be event pass. Event file is going to equal file. It's going to equal, and then we're just going to tag this event on. And now that I think about this, right, we do Right, if we're buffered, we do want to save this event off, even if we're not gonna ultimately log it, because when we unbuffer the logger, we want to generate this output pass signal. So I'm wondering if it might just be easier to kind of have like factory functions here. But anyway. So that's going to make things that's going to break some things, I believe. Maybe not, because all the new... It's just going to get angry that I'm saying this event array so this is going to be an array of either that or event. I believe that's what I'm saying, and the events is going to be the same thing, I believe. Yes. So this is going to get a bit gnarly as we transition here. So 387. Oh, did I forget reason? I guess I must have. And I guess what I'm thinking here is reason, it might be, I guess that'll default to null, so I don't know. And then we got to update the profile for log. Oh, I guess I have to update then the return signature. So I guess what we're going to do here is well, we need to basically format a message from from what we have in the event. So I guess I don't know, message equals just the empty string. So if we have a file, then we'll do message equals in event file, and then if is set event line, then I guess we'll add that on. And what I don't even know what we have now. But I guess we'll find out, and this should be a concatenation event line. And then what did I say we had in there? Oh, reason. Well, I guess reason was like right, it used to be the exception basically. So I guess and almost if we have a message already, then we want to add a new line onto it. I don't know, something like that. And then if then I guess once again, if we have, so this seems a little bit kind of grody to me at the moment, but so we need to figure out where we want to put that. And what did I just call that? Format message. Maybe from event. Well, that line is um let's just see what that gets us. Oh, okay, so now I'm going to need to Well, I probably should have put that. Oh, the stupidity. All right. What is that? 65. And where is this angry about event? Oh, I call that entry? Okay. All right, well, quite a few things broke. Uh, and I guess part of the problem here is, right, my tests assume um assume I have that array. Ugh. I was thinking earlier today, it might actually be a good idea to try and type in my tests. But that was going to be kind of a pain in the butt. So let's see what's going on here. What are the chances this is um like I've got some nice function that's just kind of like handling this for all of us, so I just need to change it in one place. Um, what's that going to do? Anything? 38 errors? Slightly fewer errors. We're in 64 here. Actually, this is the exact opposite. Thirty-three errors. Didn't really change anything. 72. Oh, that's right. Okay. So I guess the next thing, right, I think we just said, um, oh, for pass, I don't know. I kind of feel like those should be required. So let's see what happens there. Um, so here's okay. So I feel like if I structure this correctly, and this is why I'm holding off on this, right? We should not need to like destructure this event and then pass it back into the logger to be constructed again. We should just be able to pass this in. But for now, I'm just gonna align a file, and I guess right. And we're gonna call that with the file, the line, and the additional. And I guess right now this is gonna get angry because those might not be set, or they may be. Yeah. File, line, additional. Um, that might not be set if it's just right. That's gonna. So here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Uh, 615. So what do we have here? What is this test? It is a function test or a method test. Oops. It is a, what I say, a method function test or a method test. So both of those have test. So what do these reflection? I guess the only property they have is the name. So we're gonna have to get, right, and we said get what is this? Get get start line, I guess. So this could return, I think, false. All right. So this is why I think I'm going to want to move away from reflection. Because, right, reflection could just gets bogus here. So what do we have? We have test, get file name, and then a test, get start line. And my PHP stand is not going to be happy because, yeah. What file? Am I using that anywhere? Okay, so this is going to change into file line. Okay. So now who is... Somebody's calling log pass that I was not expecting. That fix anything? Then I guess the same thing up here. Okay. So I feel like that was relatively straightforward and probably one of the simpler cases we're going to have to deal with. Because we're never going to have to right, we're only going to ever be explicitly logging log passes. Okay, and where am I? So we've added that event structure. And we've updated log pass to log an event now instead of just that gobbledygook. And I guess we haven't broken our formatting yet, but I may need to take a little bit closer look at that. What? I think this is where I'm sort of testing. I guess we're not really formatting. There's never a case that we're normally formatting out or passes. So yeah, I'm sure that format message from event function is just total garbage, but it's working right now, I guess. Well, because it's not being used for anything. So yes, I guess I do, and I'm kind of like, do we just want to delete additional? And maybe that's best put in the code. I guess I'll just stick that, and then I said I have a fix me. No, that's in. Okay. So as a first step, I guess I kind of like that. And I may actually, I know that makes it somewhat of a short stream, but I think I may call that a stream for today. Just because I do have some other things I want to do this afternoon. And I usually seem to, the day usually seems to get away from me. Benson test. So I guess I will add that. And what do I want to say? Convert logging of past tests to events. Okay. I guess I can check that real quick. I think I'm logged in. But just to be safe, I guess I will just double check. Looks like I am. Well, if it's passing on those, I don't know. I suppose it could fail on 8.2, and I don't even know what's going on with 7.3. I guess Microsoft's just smoke break. Okay, it passed. Sweet. All right, I guess with that then, like I said, I am going to call that a stream. So maybe try and get a little bit more done tomorrow. But if anybody's lurking or watching the VOD after the fact, then thank you for joining me. And whoever or wherever or whenever you are, I bid you peace. Take care.